Howdy team, hope you're all fantastically well. I lost my mojo and I thought I'd just share it with you guys in some respects. And it's not technically true, I didn't really lose my mojo. I've just been focusing my energy and my efforts into other areas in terms of setting goals, dreams, aspirations and wishes for 2020, whilst also restructuring my Pro Academy, sorting out a new website, sorting out SEO, managing my team, doing one-to-ones. I've got back-to-back calls all day, every day, helping people to build a more successful financial services business. And I've just been absolutely slammed. And the difficulty is more often than not, your priorities is what you need to get in line. And the funny thing is, it's clear that I did this last year as well. Jack and I have been talking, my social media manager, and I switched off from social media for almost a month at the end of last year, almost 2 months. And I've noticed that I've done it again. And I think it goes from the point of like January till kind of November time. It was very much living in the day to day and in the now, because you're in this COVID and Corona environment across the course of this year. But, now sitting in December, I'm thinking about 2021. I'm talking to my clients and working out what their goals are for the next 6 to 12 months, looking at what we want to do as a business, speaking to my team as a bit, and finding out what everybody else wants to do. And actually the thing that suffered the most is the social media side. Whereas actually what I've kind of realized is all those conversations should have been content, because there's a lesson in every conversation that you have. And this is where I want to share something with you. Clarity is what helps you to achieve goals. And from every conversation that I've had this year, what am I talking about? From every conversation that I've had over the last week or two, there's been not enough clarity. There's been a goal in terms of I want to write this amount of business next year. I want to put this in by Q1, by Q2. I want to recruit this number of people. First question, why? Where's the justification, the logic, the numbers, the detail behind what makes you actually want to do that? And this is an ongoing saga that I'm seeing for everybody, particularly as a coach and as a mentor. It's like, how can I help you to achieve goals if we don't know what we've got to do in order to be able to achieve them? I had a coaching session yesterday with one of my clients, Antonio, who's now got a nearly £750,000 million business. Wants to take it next year up to 100,000 a month realistically, which is going to be 50% on top of what he did this year. But in setting that goal and setting that intention, it's like, it's all well and good having that big vision for what you want to do financially, but what's the metric that actually helps you to get there? I said to him straight away, how many leads were you getting in that Q1 of last year? What was your average mortgage value? What was your average broker fee? How much of your penetration was on protection? And without knowing those metrics, how can you possibly set the right amount of goals for next year? Because if you want to just increase your business by 50%, it's paint by numbers. And this is the big problem for so many that I'm speaking to going into next year. It's all well and good turning around and saying, I want to add 50% to my turnover. I want to grow my own income by 50%. I want to go from $5,000 a month to $10,000 a month in my own personal bank account. But if you don't quantify it, if you don't break it down, then how can you realistically achieve it? I've mapped out absolutely everything. One of my advisors turned around to me and said, I want to do 250 grand a year next year. So it was a case of, okay, let's look at what's the average mortgage value that you've done. So what's the total turnover and sales that you've done in mortgages? And let's look at the total number of mortgages that you've sold. That gives you a mortgage average. Let's do the same for broker fee. Let's do the same for the insurance. Then let's work out the percentage of insurance to mortgage ratio. And then we've got some quantifiable numbers. So the thing that I would really urge you to do, I'm a massive fan of setting goals based on what it's going to give you financially. Because what's 5 grand going to give you that 2 grand doesn't? What's 10 grand going to give you that 5 grand doesn't? What's 15 grand going to give you that 10 grand doesn't? You know, it's all well and good having these big financial goals, but actually, if they're at the expense of family time, or building a business around your lifestyle, or looking after your kids, or working till really ridiculous hours, then what's the point? You know, going into next year, I keep focusing on what is the actual amount that I want to have in my bank, and then building the businesses that support that. Yes, there's a massive element of me that really wants to help people achieve more and reach bigger goals and do it from a physical, mental, emotional, financial point of view. But you can only do that by breaking down in great detail the numbers that you want to track. So over the course of the next, till the end of this year, I'm going to be doing more content around metrics, around how you can set clearer goals, around the numbers that you need to be tracking in your business. Because if you're not tracking them, then you're not going to get to where you want to. I spreadsheet everything. And actually, it's one of my biggest bugbears with CRM systems. I don't know if you can relate to this, but particularly in the mortgage industry, there just isn't a good enough CRM system that really collates everything. I tried to build one back in 2016 with somebody who wasn't in financial services, wasted 15 grand. Now I've found somebody who does do bespoke CRMs for the mortgage industry. And I want to build something that actually not only helps me scale from 14 to potentially 50, because part of the thing in my brain is it's always like, if I can do a 5K in 22 minutes, what do I have to do and who do I need to become in order to be able to get it under 20 minutes? So I'm on the goal to losing a stone at the moment because that will make me run faster. In having a 14-person team, what about if we take it to a 25-person team? What about if I have 2 managers in place? Who do I need to become in order to be able to lead those individuals in order to be able to run that business? That's just the way I'm wired, having to always push for the next level. It's just the way I am. You may not be like that. And what I potentially preach is doing it in a way that actually doesn't lose you valuable family time. And one of my big goals across the course of my business journey is actually not to buy into the concepts that people talk about in terms of hustle and grind. You've got to sacrifice everything. I'm 40 years old next year. I've still got another 40 years at least in working life. So why can I not build a business over the long term as a marathon rather than as a sprint, that in 10, 15, 20 years, we might be a 200-person business, but I'm not going to do it sacrificing family time and lifestyle. But the only way that that's going to be physically, emotionally, mentally possible is having clarity over goals and financial goals, personally as well as in the business. A plan without a goal is just a wish. No, a dream without a plan is just a wish. Something along those lines. I can't even remember. Maybe one of you will be able to let me know. But I thought I would share that with you to hopefully make you think outside the box and to hopefully put some decent metrics behind the goals that you have for 2021. Because you can only achieve more by actually focusing on breaking everything down and focusing on not only where you want to get to, but set the 12-month goal, then make it quarterly, then make it monthly, then make it weekly. Particularly in the mortgage industry, you might have a bad week, but over the course of a month, you can claw it back. But you've got to be able to assess the short-term, medium, and long-term goals in order to be able to get there. So I'm going to break down the metrics a little bit further for you over the course of a series of live videos. I lost my mojo a wee bit where I've been focusing on my own personal goals and my clients' personal goals and dreams, but I'm going to get back to doing more live videos now, more repurposing of content, focusing on doing these to help you achieve more next year and beyond. So I'd love to know what you think of this video, what issues you're having in terms of setting goals for 2021, what content you realistically want for me. You know, is it going to be lead generation? Is it going to be social media? Is it going to be managing the metrics? Is it selling? Is it making more money from your mortgage leads and selling more protection? You know, all of these areas are things that I help my clients to improve upon. I'm also going to be doing more mortgage content as well through this channel. A goal without a plan is just a wish. That's exactly what I was looking for. So thanks, mate. So yeah, let me know what content you want from me. I'll be happy to do more for you. I'm going to be live. I'm going to be utilising Instagram. We're going to be relaunching a new podcast. We have got loads going on and I'm going to be sharing it all with you here. So hope you have a fantastic day. Remember, now's the time to become pro.